All right, so this is your kicking tutorial and combination tutorial, how we put that all together. So after you do your stretch kicks, your crescent kicks to warm up, the kicks that we actually use for combatives, the first one is your knee. I reach out, I grab a hold of something, them, and pull into the knee as I bring the knee up. So it's grab and knee, right, at the same time. Right? Then we add our front kick. I don't want to see you swing the leg up, but I do want your hips coming forward as you kick, keeping our hands up, lead with the knee, and snap out. So depending on what I'm kicking, either the top of the foot underneath the groin. Bob doesn't have anything below the legs over here, so again, this is higher than what I want you kicking in class. But if I were kicking a more vertical target like the knee, I have to bend my toes back and hit with the ball of the foot, right, this way as I kick, right? But yours will be lower as you do it. Your roundhouse kick, same idea, but instead of going up and down, I have to turn my hip over. In order to do that, I have to pivot my base foot. Ideally 135, I will settle for 90, but my base foot has got to pivot. If it does not, there's no way I can turn my hips over. If I do turn my hips over, then I have the potential to have that baseball bat power as I come around with the kick, right? But my bottom foot has got to turn, and it's like my leg is swinging over a tabletop. I'm swiping everything off the top of a coffee table. Again, our targets are going to be thigh or knee, and because we have that circular momentum, as we learn how to throw the kick, I want to see you do a counterbalance to help keep yourself even keel. I want you to set it back down behind you as we at least initially practice. In actuality, we're almost always going to be coming forward. So remember, we broke it down, or if you're still practicing at home, we broke it down, we did 4 parts. I brought my knee up as I pivoted my foot, I counterbalance as I kick, I rechamber, and I set back down. Okay? Watch throwing your shoulders and kind of see I make this kind of Z shape here. I should be in a little more of a straight line as I do it, and that'll help my balance as well. Okay? But that is our roundhouse kick. Kick as I come around. Okay? Again, you would be lower, but coming around like so. Okay? We did our back kick. I look over my shoulder, I bring my knee up, I stomp down and back, so I'm hitting with my heel as I did it. Then we put those in combination with our punches. So your first combination was front kick, jab, cross. Back leg does the kick, same hand does the jab as I step down, and then I throw my cross by turning my hips and flaring my back heel. Once again, sometimes it is easier to show you what I don't want to see. I don't want to see this, where it's just arms. I do my kick as I am stepping down, just like I did my normal jab. As I stepped, I threw the jab. As I step down, that's when my jab reaches out. This hand is back. This hip stays back. So now I can come forward on the cross. Remember, as I'm standing now, this hand is my jab and this hand is my cross. After you do your kick and step forward, now you've switched leads. This is your jab and this is your cross. So that confuses people sometimes, and I get kick, cross, jab, not jab, cross. So pay attention to that. Okay? Other tips that we gave you: number 1, still watch your tight roping. I cannot, if I'm on this line, hopefully you can see this line on the mat, okay? If I am on the line, I don't have the balance, and it is also very hard to turn your hips if you're doing the split. So if I take a big step down this way, it's really hard to get that rotation. So either I take a smaller step, or just like we were doing when we were doing the footwork, as I step down, I bring this bottom foot or back foot back underneath me so that I can rotate my hips from there. So, as I said, it's just like when I had you moving around and doing your footwork and throwing your basic jab before, you're doing that in the middle of the combination. So your combination is front kick, jab, cross. Next combination is jab, cross, roundhouse. Front hand jab, backhand cross, then my hips have started to turn over, so I'll throw the rear leg roundhouse to follow up. On this one, do not get in too much of a hurry. I don't want to see kind of that at the same time. Okay? Front hand, backhand, back leg. You punch them high, you kick them low for reasons we discussed in class. It is very hard for him to be in both places. If his hands are up here, protecting his face, right? If he's covering up, so he can't, this isn't hitting, then I'm going to do something down there. I'm changing levels, right, to get a reaction. It's very hard for him to be both places, okay? Then we put those two combinations together. We had front kick, jab, cross. We had jab, cross, roundhouse. We put the bookends together. That jab, cross is the bridge. Kick, jab, cross, roundhouse. Facing you. They're facing the same way as you. Back leg. Same hand. Other hand, other leg. Low, high, high, low. Right, right, left, left, or left, left, right, right, as the case may be. Kick, jab, cross, kick. And I want you to go, as we said in class, if you are going so fast that you cannot say it comfortably, then you are going too fast. Use your voice as a cadence. We left off with this, and this is still kind of your homework, and give you, so at least something so you can conceptualize a little bit better than our long-range COVID version that we did in class, right? So we do those combinations with a partner, in con a roommate, boyfriend, whoever you can con into standing still, right? So while I could hit Bob, I'm gonna do it as if you were doing on a live person who doesn't want to get punched in the face, but this is how I would want you to train it. You're in an open stance, okay? 2 arms distance away. Imagine if Bob had arms, okay? I do my kick to the groin. Remember, the reaction your partner gives is they see that kick go for the groin, they drop their hands, which now opens the high line, okay, opens their face up. So I kick for the groin, their hands open up, and then I want you to throw your jab and then your cross right over their shoulders. And we said in class, again, we could not get this close in class, but in practice at home, I want you punching past their ears. And so it's not just bonk here, but boom, through, okay? Through here. It's not just touch, it's through their face. We need that penetration. Slobber knocker, slow motion, jowls are flapping, spit is flying when you throw that punch. So I throw them over your shoulders. If your partner was standing, I'll turn Bob just a little bit. So if Bob had his right foot back this way, okay, open stance to start, and it just sets the drill up easier to do. Kick, jab, my front hand goes over their front shoulder, my cross goes over their back shoulder. So that way, like, the cross doesn't trail into them accidentally this way. So as you train with your partner, jab, cross, your partner stands still and enjoys the breeze as you throw those punches past their ears. Okay? And if you should be so lucky to actually have something to actually hit, then that's a bonus. But again, punch past your partner's ears. Then we added the same thing. Then we added the roundhouse kick. So they go here, jab, cross happens. I stagger them back, and then we added the roundhouse kick back to the leg, which Bob's not gonna move for me. All right, but kick, jab, cross. I stagger back, Bob back on the cross, and then back down low line with the roundhouse kick. And then the third one in the series is if they don't move, and that doesn't necessarily mean I was ineffectual, but basically, you know, sometimes you rock them and they kind of drop down. They don't like fall backwards. They just kind of ground. They're kind of out on their feet. They just kind of stand there for a second, right? So if that happens, right? So I go kick, jab, cross, and they don't go anywhere. I don't have room to do the roundhouse kick. but I can still knee. Okay? And again, I'm hitting higher. You would go thigh, groin. You don't have to be married to the groin as a target. It can be the inside, outside of the thigh, depending on how we lined up. If we would kind of end up more sideways to them, then the outside of that knee or thigh could be, I could blast with the knee right down there just as easily. Okay, so you don't have to be married to the groin as a target, although it's certainly a good one. Okay, but last time, kick, jab, cross, knee through the target there. So, hopefully you can con someone into getting some more quality practice at home with those combos. If nothing else, keep working them in the air, and hopefully they look better next time I see you in class.